Welcome everyone, my dear friends. Today we have a special live broadcasting from Moscow. It's going to be an online tour hosted by me. My name is Nick Nedalchuk and I'm your locally here in Moscow, Russia. So, while you are still connecting to the tour, I'm going to make a short introduction. What are we going to see? Well, this tour was originally announced as the tour of 3. It was intended that myself, also Alex from Britain and Dylan from the United States will jointly show you Moscow nowadays, but unfortunately they couldn't simply make it. Alex caught a cold, hopefully it's not coronavirus, and Dylan was he's relocating to another place in Moscow, so he's really busy. So I decided to make it a solo tour. I decided not to postpone but make a solo tour. I really hope that you will enjoy this tour. We're gonna see a very nice Christmas Moscow, and we will start our tour from the Gastro Market, which is a food mall, a really huge food mall, the biggest in Europe, and we'll make this tour around the neighborhood. So I'm switching the camera to the back view, and you can see this wonderful passage that I'm observing here from the mezzanine level. So welcome here. I'm gonna just shortly pin the comment about what is going on. Welcome everyone, welcome Tanya and Ivanka, fans of the project. I'm really happy to see you here. So it's gonna be a nice and short tour of Moscow. So I will say this is a Christmas Moscow live tour made by your Localie Nick from Moscow. Live tour, I'm typing in right now. Made by your Localie Nick. You're actually welcome to ask me any questions that you have. So if you wanna direct me somewhere, if you wanna ask me to turn to somewhere or to answer your question, I will be gladly make it. So we are in Moscow right now, and it's a Christmas Moscow live online tour. Okay, so I'm finishing typing in. And by the way, I'm not making only online tours. I will also gladly make you a real live offline tour when you will come to Moscow. So I'm here and I'm showing you around just as a part of of our project called Localie. So welcome everyone here. I see you're joining. Today Nick is with you and we're gonna just walk around Moscow. This is one of my favorite districts of the city, and it's called Belaruskaya. This neighborhood is probably one of the most trendiest in the city, and we definitely, when you're gonna come here and when you're gonna visit Moscow, we will definitely start from this district. Moreover, there is a train station, the train terminal that connects the city center with one of the major Moscow airports. So most likely you will get here from your airport, and this could be the first place where you will stay in Moscow. One interesting fact, so as you can see right here, we have so many people around. The reason for that is that we don't have a lockdown here in Moscow. We are really happy to not have a lockdown. The life is here just as usual. And this is just simply perfect. Perhaps Moscow is one of the rarest of the few places all over the world where you still can't experience lockdown in times of the COVID. We used to have a lockdown during the first wave in April, May and June, and it was prohibited to leave even your apartment. So we had a very strict lockdown here. So after that strict lockdown, the local authorities decided not to have the second one. And we are now free to go travel inside the country, but unfortunately we can't leave the country. We have only a few countries where we can travel to, and these few countries are, well, mainly Turkey, Belarus, also Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, UK, suddenly, and a few other countries in the world. I think it's United Arab Emirates as well. So this is the main passage of this food mall. And by the way, if you're watching this live online tour, you can be proud that you're now observing the biggest food mall in the whole world. So once again, it's the biggest food mall by the number of square meters, but also by the number of shops that are located over here. Well, basically there are all different shops. You can try whatever you want. You can try something really local and delicious, just like in this shop. Here you can see that they sell Serbian delicious. I never tried them, so perhaps I have to just come back after this online tour and give it a try. You can have some, you know, really famous chains over here, but also a lot of local kiosks with food. As you can see, we have also here some bars. Many people don't wear face masks, as you can see here. It's mandatory, but it's not like strictly forced. So many people just skip that. And moreover, more than 20% Muscovites already experience the coronavirus, so they already have the immunity. By the way, let me know, guys and girls, if you can hear me well, and if everything is okay, and just let me know where you're from. I'm wondering to know where you're from. I'm gonna just wipe the camera really fast. So, talking about this place. This place was basically a depot. It was a home, let's say a home, for the trams 100 years ago. And many years after that. But since the public transportation of Moscow is transforming, this depot was just stopped its normal working, and it was transformed into this wonderful food mall. As you can see here, one of the best places to spend here in Moscow. So it's somehow close. It's somehow similar to the Time Out Market in Lisbon, Portugal. One of the first food malls ever that was created some time ago, and then the trend of creating the food malls in the cities, it also was spread all across the world, and finally it came here to Moscow. So as you can see here, you can buy some, you know, like restaurant food, but also you can find some, you know, vegetables and fruits just like on the market. So all different markets, all different kiosks that you can find here. For instance, this is the Eastern delicious. So you can see here the traditional sweets from Istanbul. This is the Turkey market, and then finally, just you can see here, some cakes. Who like cakes? I hope you do, guys. And then finally, some fruits and vegetables over here. In the center of the mall, there is a nice stage. So quite often we have different events. Still, even now during the coronavirus, we having the events taking place over here in the middle. This is basically the main passage of the mall. So from this point, you can observe how great it is. It looks really cool. It's not that big. It doesn't look that big as the Time Out Market in Lisbon, but in the end, it has more square meters. So it's a really huge place, and it's really easy to get lost in it. It just has a lot of passages here and there that you can use to walk around. So this is the main place. Here normally they use the screen for the advertisement during the day, and then in the evening they have here some kind of events. As you can see here, there is some musical equipment. So very often, if you will come here in the weekend at like I would say 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you will definitely see some musical performance. And this place over here, you see there is some space. Is used for dancing. So it's like a small dancing area that you can use for free if you don't want to go to some, if you don't want to go to some to nightclubs in Moscow or to the bar. So as you can see here, just as heritage and also a link to the history of this place, there is an old bus, but it's actually not just a bus, it's a trolley bus. The very specific public transport that is available here in Moscow and many Russian towns. So the trolley bus is actually the old style electrical bus, which used the electricity, but since back then, like many years ago, they didn't have batteries strong enough to power the whole bus. These kind of buses, they used these two special things to connect to the network, to the electrical network, which is hanged on the top, and to get power on the way when it's going. So I think that's it for now. We saw the depot, the main food market, or as they call it, the food mall of Moscow. And now we can go outside and spot a beautiful sunset. Well, here on the north, the sun is going down very early during the winter. So at 4 o'clock, and now it's 4 o'clock Moscow time, it's getting darker, and at 5 o'clock it's going to be completely dark. So we will enjoy this nice and pleasant Christmas atmosphere during the dam hours. As you can see here, this is like a reception desk, the information kiosk made in the old bus cabin. Really nice to see it. If we're talking about the weather outside, well, the temperature outside is around -6 degrees, so it's pretty cold now. We had a snow already this year, but it wasn't. We didn't get a lot of snow, and a lot of snow was like melted. I'm gonna just wear my gloves because it's like very cold, and you don't want me perhaps to die out of cold. So please allow me to wear some gloves. I also have a hat on me. Now I can't do anything with my phone because it's like sensor. So I'll just hang in the hands, and I hope that the battery will be good enough to finish this online tour as well on the street, because as we all know in Russia, iPhones they are really bad when it's getting cold. So every time on winter we have to charge our battery so many times, otherwise it will be just dead. So you can see here, this is a small city plaza in the center of this whole complex. The depot is basically the building over here on the left. So we were just inside of it. We just went out of the building. But outside is more restaurants and just all different kind of bars or just companies. So for instance, over there on the top you can see, I hope you can see, there is a stretching club. Also there is a boxing club in that old building, and a few restaurants. So we will go over there to those buildings. This is a nice and cozy area, which is mainly used by the businesses. So there are a lot of international, also domestic Russian companies resided in that area. And we will finish our tour in my favorite place in Moscow called White Square. So you definitely know the Red Square, and perhaps this is the only thing that you can imagine of Moscow, but we also have a White Square, which is modern, nice looking, and it's completely out of the stereotypes. So I hope you will like it. But fingers crossed that my battery will survive this cold. It's -6, as I said, in Moscow. So, well, Moscow is getting prepared to the Christmas holidays, and as you can see now, there are so many beautiful decorations all the way. The depot, the food mall, is over there. So now from the side you can see how big is that building. So it's going very far away that way, and the facade itself is also very long, so we can see the whole facade from this perspective. So this is the entrance to the food mall. It is used by cars, so you can see what kind of cars we use here in Russia, all different cars. Well, Russians don't really like their own local cars. Some of you might know there is a local brand of the cars called Lada, but of course, since we live in Russia, we think it's too bad car and no one would buy it. But of course it's pretty popular still in Russia, but in Moscow many cars are actually representing international brands. So this is another building here in the depot. Look how beautiful it is. Well, Moscow is beautiful, especially during the winter time, because it has these amazing highlights and illuminants everywhere. And we're gonna go to that district to see and get inspired by the tall buildings, the office buildings, and also to see some amazing perspective over there. But here on the front is even more interesting building, Well, in Moscow, there are a few buildings that was built during the early years of the Soviet Union, where, you know, people had amazing freedom in terms of creativity, and the new architects, well, it was like a trend to, you know, ruin everything from the past and try to imagine, try to create something completely new, what people could not imagine before. So that was a good part of the Soviet Union, but probably the only good part of the Soviet Union. So this building was constructed in 20s, and now it is the theater located inside, and look how unusual it is. So they built it 100 years ago, and this is the monument of constructivism style in the architecture. Look at that. Well, just before we are going that direction, let's just make a short look back to the depot territory. So this is basically depot where we started our walk, and now we are continuing it further. Just in case you're asking, you're wondering, you wanted to see Moscow snow, here it is. Here's probably the only one that we will see during that walk. I'm really sorry about that, but yeah, now the global warming changes the climate everywhere, also in Moscow, and winters in Moscow are pretty soft, I would say, pretty mild. So these buildings over there, they were constructed 10 years ago, and they are forming the complex of the White Square. A lot of business centers, a lot of international companies resides there, but also domestic ones. Here on the left, it's incredibly cool to see how different is Moscow. So on the right, you can see the buildings from 21st century. But if I'm gonna turn camera to the left, you will see the old Soviet building, a very typical Soviet building just in the city center. Well, now the apartments in this building would cost amazingly expensive amount of money. So I would say you'll need around 200,000 euro to buy an apartment in this, you know, pretty modest building, but you will pay this amount of money just because it's located in the city center. So living in Moscow city center is pretty expensive. Just before the crisis, a few years ago, Moscow was named one of the most expensive cities in the world, but the crisis actually messed it up, and now it's I think it's even not in the top 100. So best times, if you earn in euro or in dollars, it is the best time to visit Moscow. Once again, I will just flip the camera. This is how Moscow looks like right now, and this is, well, very, very, well, it says a lot, you know. The building, the old Soviet building, which is, I would say, pretty horrible. It doesn't look really attractive, but over here there is a Finch Coffee, a very nice and a very cozy coffee shop, which you would enjoy. It's teeny tiny, so you can just go inside, drink a coffee, just 2 tables you can see here, but still some people are using it to work. And then there is a bar, and that's it. Very nice place. There are so many cool, teeny tiny places just like this. Very authentic, very international, and very welcoming. Well, now we are moving forward. And by the way, I see that Randiter Kiltsen just joined us. Hey, really nice to see you here. I know that you're from Copenhagen, and as always, I'm really happy to see you on our live streams. Welcome. So let's look over there. There is a nice Christmas passage just in between those 2 big buildings. It's really nice. It's really looking cool. But if you're gonna look on the camera, if you're gonna just, you know, watch that direction, you will see very tall buildings located in the heart of Moscow. The district is called Moscow City. It has, I think, like 5 or 6 tallest buildings in Europe. So out of top 10 buildings in Europe, majority of the buildings are located in Moscow, in that district, and it's worth to see. So we'll definitely and perhaps me personally, I would definitely make an online tour of that building, of that district, the Moscow City, and we perhaps can also climb on the tallest building in that district and show you amazing view of Moscow from the building called Federation. So right now we are keeping going that direction. It's a very nice evening hour here in Moscow, and the sun just went down. Today we had a very nice sunny day, but pretty freezing. It was pretty freezing. It was -6 degrees all over the day. So as in many northern countries, when the temperature is pretty low, we have the sunny weather. Yeah. Oh my God! I really love how beautiful is this sunset. Now I definitely need to wipe the camera once again. I'm really sorry. I don't know what happens. Probably because of the different temperature inside of the building and outside. The quality was not so good. So I just want to stay here on this road crossing, showing you this view. So together we will enjoy this beautiful sunset. But well, meanwhile I'm just waiting. The lights, the traffic lights are red right now, so I'm just waiting when they're gonna turn green. And meanwhile we can enjoy these fantastic views. So Moscow is a really huge city. Officially, we have 12 million inhabitants, but unofficially, many would say that there are already 20 million people living in Moscow. Moscow is the main city of Russia, and well, basically, it gets a lot of people going inside the city from all the different Russian regions, but also sometimes from foreign countries as well. So the city is very different, and you can see once again here the old buildings, right? The old buildings as a Soviet heritage from the past, the new buildings, the skyscrapers here, and also the new buildings over here. So we are heading to the square, which is located that way. Very soon, when the traffic light will switch to green, we'll see a beautiful white square, which is just the opposite to the red square. The public transport in Moscow, by the way, is really cool. So if you're gonna go and visit Moscow, I would definitely recommend to use public transport by default. Moreover, it helps you to avoid the traffic jams, which are terrible in Moscow, because there are so many people living in Moscow. When you are traveling, when you are in the city, enjoying the city, just out of the rush hours, it will be fine to take a car. But when it's the peak hours, and basically during the business day, all over the day, there is a rush hour. So I would definitely recommend to take the public transport instead. And the public transport is really good and very, very, very cheap. So also here you can see the new Moscow navigation. So it's hard to get lost also in the city, but hard to get and find some really cool places if you are not with the Localie. So I really hope that next time when you're in Moscow, you are using Localie to explore the city in the best way. So this is one of my favorite places in Moscow in terms of the restaurants. This is a coffee shop. It's basically a the French chain of the coffee shops called Le Bien Quotidien. Sorry for my French. I'm really not a French speaker. Which they have amazing, very delicious coffee. I like just to stay by here when I'm having a meeting, especially. So let's look around. Once again, we're approaching the White Square. This is a business district located close to Belaruski railway terminal. This is one of the major railway stations in Moscow. But before I will continue, look at these two girls. What are they doing? What do you think? What they are doing, those two girls, staying on the street in this cold -6 weather. Well, they're doing a photo shoot. So when you arrive to Russia, when you arrive to Moscow, you will realize how many people here love to make photos with themselves. So it's kind of like a different industry. It's kind of like a separate trend, which a lot of people, really wondering about. Why are they doing that? So in every nice place of Moscow, you will see, especially if the weather is good, you will see a lot of people who are making photo shoots. Well, mainly girls, but I would say this is a trend, and this is something that would impress and surprise you in Moscow. You would never see that. So, well, just few steps from amazing view. Please get ready. Now I'm gonna make a few steps and you will enjoy one of the best view of Moscow. Are you ready? All right. Then I'm going forward. Look at here. Oh my God. I'm just in love with this view. Well, it tells a lot about Moscow. I love this place especially because this is what Moscow is. This is a combination of old and new. The old church built more than 100 years old, and then the new buildings and office buildings which are located on the sides of this street. And the street is purely pedestrian street, as you can see. So this is a new trend in Moscow to make pedestrian places comfortable and convenient for many people. So look at this amazing view. I hope you enjoy it, and I really love that I'm making the tour right now for you when it's getting dark, but it's not completely dark. So it's still like just a few minutes after the sunset. This is a really nice view. And guess who is working in this beautiful district? Here we go, Deloitte. Lucky bastards. Well, if you work for Deloitte and you're watching this online tour, consider to take a business trip to Moscow. You'll enjoy it. So this is the old typical Russian church, located on the White Square. And White Square, it's opposite to the Red Square. The Red Square is huge, and it's making pressure on you, and you feel unwell about like being in such a huge place, right? You feel like you're so small and teeny tiny. The White Square is opposite. It's really small. It's fully pedestrian, and the architecture just outside is amazing. So this Christmas tree, it is based in the fountain. So during the warm season, starting from May and until October, we have here a very nice fountain, and a lot of people would come here, schedule the dates. They would use this place as a meeting place, and they would just sit here on this stone bench, and they would enjoy the fountain here where you see this Christmas tree, and they would just chat, they would just talk. And during the summer it's amazing, and all those restaurants that you can see here on the sides, they have their own terraces, and on the terraces always you would listen to live music. So it's definitely one of the best places in Moscow that I would definitely recommend to visit. So beautiful sunset over there, a beautiful church, and a Christmas tree. Look how beautiful it is. And once again, I hope you enjoy this view together with me. Over there are like more tall buildings, and then if you're gonna just cross them, you will come back to the Depot food mall where we started this online tour. Oh my god, thank you for that. Guys, they made it for you, huh? This is specifically for you guys. Well, the reason is Saturday, and the Orthodox Church, they have a service on Saturday at this time in the evening. And before the service, they would ring the bells in a very traditional, authentic Russian way, which is very typical for the Russian churches. So let's listen to it. It normally takes up to 10 to 20 minutes. So when you're here, go to the Starbucks and make sure you're here Saturday evening at 4:30, so you can just listen to the church and enjoy the vibe. And this is only the beginning. This is like a melody. They're just starting, ringing the bells, and then it's going, just better, more sound, just like in the music, like a drum and bass in a way. So once again, let's observe also that view. I was telling you some time ago that there is a Belaruski railway terminal that you will use as a train station to get to the city center of Moscow. from the airport. So this is actually the Belaruski railway station, and over there you can see also the beautiful Moscow city, the district of the skyscrapers also. You see? Old and new. Again, old and new. And once again, the way how they bring the bells, it's very cool. So they're starting very tightly, very slowly with the 1-2 bells, and then it's going, you know, up. It's going up until a certain point when it's like, you know, a big celebration. Something really cool is going on. So the Russian way of ringing the bells is also very authentic and interesting. And if you're here, you listen to it, right? It's like getting up all the time. But look at this gorgeous view that I have here in front of me. So here again, just after this amazing place where you feel very convenient in a teeny tiny small pedestrian place, we are back here to this very loud big avenue. So Moscow is very different. And you can choose what kind of Moscow you like, what kind of Moscow you prefer. Okay, so it's the green light, we're crossing the street, and I'm gonna show you also the Belaruski railway station. This is the place where you're gonna be arriving here to Moscow. So stick to me. We are already having this tour for 30 minutes, just in case you are visiting this online tour, you joined just recently. No worries, you can still watch it from the very beginning. We'll save it in our Instagram, and just you can find it, and you can also share it with your friends who you would like to invite to join you in your next trip to Moscow. Look, here we have some snow, and this is really cool because it's already December, but we had just a very decent amount of snow, so we're still waiting until it's gonna be a white winter, and we're still looking forward for a white Christmas. It's already getting colder, and it's -6 degrees right now, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a cold winter. So once again, let's observe this place. This is a small park located on the crossing of the streets. So this is the old church where we've been just recently, and also the district of the business buildings, which looks really amazing. And I would definitely recommend you to come here and to experience that, the old and new. This is how Moscow look like. Well, there are a lot of really nice places in Moscow that would, you know, inspire you, which would make you feeling really great. Moscow is very different from what it used to be like 10 or 20 years old. So even locals, they really love how Moscow transformed. And there are so many places in the city. So if you live in the city, it's hard, you know, to visit them all. Also considering that the new places are opening all the time. Oh my god, I love that I made this online tour at such time, you know, when it's a sunset. So for those of you who are wondering where are we going and what are we visiting right now, so this is the final destination for us. We are approaching Belaruski railway station. This is a railway terminal that connects Moscow city center with the Moscow airport. So we're gonna watch and see how it looks like, and also it's a great chance for me to show you what will be your first steps in Moscow when you just arrive to the city, what kind of places you can see here, and what kind of vibe you will experience here. So let's look again straight. We're now crossing, there is a street, a big highway just on top of us, and this is a pedestrian passage to get to the square of the Belaruski railway station. Once again, it's the old and the new. Then again, it's old and then again it's new. So this railway station was constructed more than 100 years ago, and this is one of the main arteria of the country. Well, basically a lot of people who are visiting Moscow, their first steps are here on this square. Then they go to the metro station, and the metro station is just on the right from me. This is the entrance to the metro station. The metro is really huge. The subway system in Moscow really impresses. It was one of the biggest projects of the Soviet period, and back then the government, they didn't really count money. They just tried to make a museum out of the Moscow metro. So it's very specific, and it's really interesting to ride the Moscow metro. So I would definitely recommend you to experience that. So here we have an entrance, an exit to the express train to Sheremetyevo Airport, one of the main airports, international airports of Moscow. Most likely, when you are arriving to Moscow, you will use the Sheremetyevo Airport, and this will be a train station in the city center where you will get from the airport. So pretty nice square over here. Now, as we had this online tour with you, you know that you just need to exit to leave the railway station. You are entering this beautiful square, and I hope the weather will be even better than now, but at least the same as now. And you're going to that direction. To the left, you are passing the highway just below, and then you will get to that amazing district with a white square and old church. You can still see it from here. And then finally, you can get to the depot to have your amazing and delicious dinner. Now we can just look how the train station looks like inside of it. Well, unfortunately, they lost completely the old vibe of the train station, and they completely renovated it. But it still is cozy and convenient. But this is the place that you will use. This is the premise you will use to get on board your train to the Sheremetyevo Airport. So this was your Localie in Moscow, Nick. I'm based here. I will be happy to show you around the next time when you're here. Of course, we'll have much more interesting things, much more interesting places in Moscow. So you can first of all follow our Instagram account and follow our updates regarding what's going on and what online tours will be the next. Personally, I will do more tours soon, and also other localists will do tours from all over the cities, all over the world. Thank you for being here with me. I'm very, very happy to have you with me today. So let's keep in touch. I wish you all have a pleasant Saturday, and welcome to Moscow.